Exact Track 4D detects dangerous weather days ahead of time, so you can make the right plans for your family.
Comfortable and pleasant outside today. It was a good one.
We actually had the doors open. We didn't do the windows. We had the doors open for a little bit this morning. Temperatures were comfortable enough. It's still humid. I mean, we're not in the dry fall era yet, but 60s?
Yeah.
60s, we'll take them. And daytime highs, where are we right now? About 82 degrees.
82.
I think 85 is going to be the high here for today. So let's get you ready for finally Friday and the upcoming weekend. Things that stay the same here. Coastal flood advisories. Notice, though, the northern part of that advisory that went up through Nassau County and into southeast Georgia. That advisory has been allowed to expire. However, it does continue through Duval, Clay, Putnam County and St. John's from the beaches, the intercoastal here in the river and tributaries. And it's been extended now to go all the way through Saturday morning at 6 o'clock. Like I've been saying, I do think that we're going to see it extended again, and it could possibly be into early in the work week with the increasing rainfall here that we're going to see this weekend. As far as our flood advisory, looking at all the colors, anywhere from action to minor stage, but down at Haw Creek, 6.5 feet now. At moderate level is 6 feet, so we're half a foot above that. Into the tropics, we touched on this, but a 30% chance in the 7-day window. And once again, it's the GFS. Now remember, with the last system that tried to develop in this area, it got as high as a 60 and a 90% chance. All the while, the Euro was nearly whisper quiet on the formation. And what ended up happening? The Euro was the right one out of all of the models, the Canadian, the NavGen, and the GFS here. So you can see that the Euro is still saying that we're going to have more linear winds, indicating more of a shear product than what we would see Tuesday, possibly Wednesday, as the GFS continues to try to bring some sort of lopsided swirl. That would look a little bit more like a signature for possibly a depression, or at the weaker end on the weaker end of depression, or possibly building to a tropical storm. We're not tracking any rain. The radar is quiet, but the hazy conditions as the winds have begun to settle down have moved overhead, taking us from our partly cloudy skies to a hazy 82 degrees with the east-northeast wind at 15 miles an hour at the airport, Mayport, and a mile plus of that as we get into St. Augustine out at the airport there along US 1 South. Some of the peak wind gusts have taken us up to around the upper teens and 20-mile-an-hour range beachside and also along the 95 corridor. Temperatures have settled down to 82 degrees on the beaches. We've got 79 degrees. That'll give us our lighter breeze here for tonight. Clear and cooler with partly cloudy skies. Still the potential as the wind begins to pick up Friday and continues into the weekend for what will be coastal county showers. And our frontal boundary here to the south, this thing's going to modify somewhat and become a little bit more of a cold front, but we're still going to be caught between the squeeze of our low pressure and the high to the north, and that's what will be accelerating our wind here from Friday and into the weekend. Under that acceleration, coastal zones will still have the better chance for seeing some rainfall in any of those training events that could go as high as Mayport here. I'd like to see a little bit of the beaches covered, and then southward, including Putnam and Flagler County, for what could still be locally heavy, although isolated rounds of rain. I think this is my favorite part here. Waking up with temperatures, we got down to, I believe it was 66 this morning. 60s are going to continue as we make our way through the forecast. They will be a little bit warmer here from 66 last night, 68, 69 degrees overnight tonight, and that'll be that deck of clouds that have moved in, and near similar temperatures to what we saw here for today as we close out the work week. The best part is it's finally Friday, so let's go ahead and make it an 11. The only reason it's not a 12, we're dealing with the coastal flooding and the potential there for some of those coastal county showers as the wind returns. But if you're heading out tonight, expect to see the break in the clouds here between our partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies as temperatures continue to settle into those 60s. Upper 60s overnight tonight, starting our finally Friday. And if you're thinking about some grill time, looking pretty good for Friday, and that's a great way to kick off the weekend. And for tonight, we've got the temperatures that will continue to drop, but again, without the rainfall, whether you've got coverage overhead or just some burgers that need to go on the grill, it looks like a good night with those increasing rain chances coming back this weekend. Breezy conditions through the start of the work week.
Richard, thanks.